It's an incredible day for the NFL as far as I'm concerned. The fact that the Panthers stepped up and made this decision. I know that he said he wouldn't protest. It should not have mattered, but the point is that this is not an individual that should have been pushed out of the league and denied an opportunity to work. I'm going to remind everybody, regardless of how you feel about Colin Kaepernick or Eric Reid and their willingness to take a knee, under the NBA laws, they were violating nothing. They were breaking no rules, okay? It's perfectly within their right to do what they did. Unlike the NBA and Major League Baseball, there was not a policy in place by the National Football League that mandated you stand for the national anthem. That was never the case. So as an American citizen who also is pretty damn good at what he does, he had every right to do what he did without suffering the occupational or the financial repercussions that he ultimately was subjected to. I think this is a step in the right direction by the Panthers organization, and I also think that the NFL overall should follow suit, and the next player who should get a job is Colin Kaepernick. I don't see that happening because of the collusion case against the National Football League, but this is a strong step in the right direction. And if you want to really, really put all of this stuff behind all of us, I think Colin Kaepernick should be the next one to have a job.
He should never have had to say he was going to stand for the national anthem before he got a job. I will say this. This goes for all of the owners in the NFL. The Panthers signed a player who's clearly an NFL player. Mm-hmm. I think pretty clearly a starting player for many teams, and not that long ago was a very good player. It was either bullying, cowardly, or at best callous of the NFL owners, all 32 of them, to exclude this man from his chosen profession for which he is totally qualified, of giving their teams a less good chance to win because he didn't participate in a mandatory ceremony. Essentially, what the NFL owners have signaled here to the players is you will parrot our political speech or else. And not until you say, okay, fine, I'll parrot your political speech, do you get a job. It's outrageous. And either they are callous, I'm hoping that's the best case scenario, and still a bad one, where they're saying, look, this is our business, bottom line. Because how do you know you're pandering to the right crowd? How do you know that crowd has the most economic clout? Everyone assumed that about Kaepernick, right? With the Nike ad. Oh, Nike stocks are down. Duh, everywhere. Nike stocks are down.
They actually made billions.
In fact, all stocks were down that day. All the other sneaker companies were down right around the same amount as Nike. And since then, Nike has made a fortune. Since the Colin Kaepernick.
Billions with the big B.
So how do the owners even know they're right if they are being callous and just paying attention to their bottom line? That's one. Two, it could be bullying, kind of coercion. Look, you're not going to get a job because we think you need to feel this way politically about things, even though it's America. And it's not a mandatory ceremony, kind of is a mandatory ceremony, or it's cowardly, where some of the owners felt like, I want to give him a job, but I'm afraid to do it. And I'm outraged by the entire thing. Congratulations to Eric Reid and the Panthers for eventually doing the right thing. This whole thing was a fiasco and an outrage.
Max, I think you hit it on the head. You said it, cowardly. The owners were cowards for not bringing on a guy like Eric Reid. Listen, and we could talk about that side of it. Let me talk about the player on the football field. Eric Reid is one of the more dynamic safeties in the league. Why? Because not only can he play in pass coverage, but he can cover in one-on-one situations, whether it be a slot receiver or a tight end. He has range, and he's shown that range being in the middle of the field. He's been a playmaker for the San Francisco 49ers. And at any time when he got released from the 49ers, he could have played on and started on at least 26 teams in the league. This kid's going to be an upgrade for the Carolina Panthers, not only in the locker room, but on the football field as an athlete. I think he still has he's 26 years old. He's going to be a playmaker for the years to come, and he's going to have a long career. I just think that they were cowards for not bringing him in because the athletic ability and the ability to make plays was there, and he would have definitely helped any team in the NFL.
The only modification I would make in both arguments, and I certainly agree with both of y'all, obviously, the only modification I would make is this. Every single owner in the NFL is not averse to having Colin Kaepernick or Eric Reid in uniform. There are owners that don't need either of them because they're filled at those positions, but that wanted them back in the league and had been imploring the NFL to get them back in the league. So when we say all 32, I have been told that is not accurate.
That's fair.
Most is, but there are a few owners that did
That's
want
fair, but let me
both of
tell
them
you
in
why
there.
Eric Reid is a better case than Colin Kaepernick. Because Kaepernick is the icon of this whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like the symbol. But he's a quarterback who was considered a bubble starter. Maybe he's a starter, maybe he's a backup, and that's a lot of attention. But a safety? There are no safety jobs in the NFL for a good safety. Not a bubble kind of guy, maybe makes the team, maybe not. A good player.
There are also people in the league office that had been encouraging NFL teams to do this and have been in the face of people in the league office saying, we need to move beyond this. This is not right.
The Panthers had a lot of bad PR with their former owner. I think this is a good story, and I'm so happy for Eric Reid. Huge congratulations, much deserved, and he's with a good team.